Advertising is based on one thing: happiness. And you know what happiness is? Happiness is the smell of a new car. It's freedom from fear. It's a billboard on the side of the road that screams with reassurance that whatever you're doing, it's okay. You are okay.
Hello, and in this video we're going to take a look at advertising and what my theories are in terms of how you advertise a product and the sort of things you've got to think about and talk about, and the sort of stories that you've got to tell, and hopefully provide some decent tips about how you can advertise your product in the e-commerce space, or whatever kind of whatever you're selling, whatever you're providing, how you can advertise and the sort of mindset you've got to have. Well, at least in my opinion anyway. So firstly, my theory about advertising is that people always want something. They always want to be better. They always have ambitions and goals. You know, it's what's made the human race or whatever so productive, and you know, has many downsides to us, but kind of dominate really, is because there's a thing in our brain that's constantly telling us that we could be better, and that the grass is always greener. And you know, unless you're a super kind of amazing meditator and monk, you definitely feel this. And I think this is what advertising plays into. It plays into the innate human need to change and to grow and to be better. And this is what you've got to bear in mind when you're advertising your product. So the business that I'm looking at the moment is reusable water bottles. You can follow the series, the Road to Glory series, where I try and grow the business. You know, we were in early stages yet, and there's only one episode out at the time of recording here, but you know, hopefully to follow our journey there. So we're selling reusable water bottles, and one of the benefits of this product is the environmentally friendly nature of it. Now, you could talk about this as, oh yeah, you know, it helps the environment, it's great, but that doesn't kind of play into what we just spoke about. It doesn't play into this idea of you know, people want to be something better. So you might say something along the lines of you know, at the core of our business is this urge to protect the planet we live in and to live among this urge to protect the planet we live in, protect the longevity of all the inhabitants of this planet, and to, you know, to be a proactive force in making the world a cleaner place. And you lose all this kind of suggested language, and what that says is, it says to the person reading it, you know, do you want to be that person? Do you want to be that person who who's someone who does care about the planet, who does want to make the world a better place, who does want to make the air cleaner and help endangered species and things like that? And for some people, they do. They definitely do. And you're saying, well, you know, buy this product and you can get closer to being that person. And it sounds like really manipulating and twisted, but that's what advertising is it plays on your emotions. It plays on the things that you find important, and the things that you hold really true to yourself. And it says, buy this product and you can get closer to that, get close to your true self, get close to what you want to become and what you want to be. So let's look, you know, if we look at other companies, we look at Apple, for instance, you know, they're all about design and user experience and things being so perfectly arranged and beautiful and fantastic, and their products they're really good. But what they say to the consumers, they say, you know, are you someone who wants to have, you know, that kind of high-end, beautifully designed, aesthetic piece of kit? And people go, yeah, you know, I can visualize myself taking those photographs, using this in the office, and they put all these lifestyle pictures up of cool people using it. And people look at that, they don't just see the iPhone and the tech and the software, they see the person that they could be if they buy that iPhone. And that's what advertising is. It's that thing again, you know, it's what do you want to be? Who do you want to become? What do you find important? and you associate your product with those things, and therefore people kind of think that they buy your product and they can get closer to that. It is weirdly manipulative and so psychological, but it's such a powerful force, and it's what's driven capitalism and driven consumerism and things like that to a scary place. But it is what it's about. But there's one really important part of this all to remember, is that is this idea of authenticity. Is you can't lie about what you're selling and about the kind of things you're associating your product with or service with. I can't, if I'm selling plastic water bottles, I can't preach about how plastic's sustainable and it helps the environment, because that's not authentic and that's a lie. And then you break the kind of truth in your messaging and your storytelling. So what you've got to do is you've got to keep that message kind of ringing true throughout the consumer experience. You tell them the story, okay, we're sticking with this environment and whatever, and they want to get, when they actually receive that water bottle, they want to kind of feel the material and feel the sustainability to it. A great example of this is Lush. Lush are certainly big in the UK, I don't know if they're big anywhere else, but they make soaps and they make shower gels and they make really nice smelling things. When you order from them, you get a box full of all their soaps, and they use these cool little kind of what seems like polystyrene kind of fillers that you get in box. It's kind of weird looking what's-it things that people put in boxes to fatten them out so things don't move around. They're actually made of like biodegradable potatoes or something ridiculous, where basically you can put these things which you get in your order in your plant pots, and they turn into plant food when it rains. So what that is an example of is that Lush tells the story of how environmentally friendly people go, oh, I'm someone who cares about the environment. I'm someone who wants to make the world a better place, make the world cleaner. I'm going to buy Lush's products because who I am is associated with the story that brand is telling. Then I buy the product, and the product comes in, but that story is still being told because Lush is so authentic with that story. It keeps going, and they get it, and it's reinforced, and that creates the brand. That kind of cycle of truth and cycle of story creates the brand of Lush, which now everyone associates with environmentally friendly, great products, really good for the environment, no harm to animals, and things like that. So you can't just say, if you want to be rich, come and buy this product. They buy a product that doesn't make them rich. It's not authentic, and the truth cycle is broken, and you can't build a brand off that. And you might make a sale or two, but you won't make a brand. So that's it, really. To go over what we've spoken about is advertising is about storytelling. It's about associating your product with a particular story which resonates with your customers. Your customers will buy your product if the story you're telling them resonates with who they are, who they want to be, who they see themselves as. Okay? Then that story has got to continue throughout the customer experience. And actually, from the start, when they see your advertising on Facebook or whatever, and then they go to your website, and then they order from your website, and then they get your product in, and then they use your products, and then they tell their friends about their product. That whole cycle there, that story that you're telling them has to remain true throughout the whole thing. And that's how you build a brand, and you build a brand around that story, and that's how you really generate sales, and how you're really going to get people to buy more of the products and to purchase more. And it, on the one hand, you can look at it as manipulative and kind of leveraging people's emotions to make profit, and it is, but which is a shame. But that's just, I think you have to. If you have to be really honest with yourself about what capitalism is and what consumerism is, and the psychology of decision making and what makes people buy things. If you're honest with yourself about those, you'll get to this conclusion. And for me, if your story is authentic, and the customer feels that they are genuinely helping the environment, or it's fitness, they're getting fitter, or with your iPhone, actually experiencing the best design and the better UI on the market. If it's authentic, then that's fine. You're selling someone an experience. You're selling someone an experience of that story which resonates with them. So, you know, is it bad? Maybe. You know, have we got to a crazy point of capitalism? Probably. But I look at it as, you know, you're selling it. You're kind of, the story is an experience. It's a bit like when you buy a theatre ticket. You know, you pay £25 for a theatre ticket. You go and you're told the story which you enjoy, and you get to experience that story of the play and the narrative of and all the character development. You experience that. You pay your money for that experience, and you know, I think ultimately any product and any service is exactly the same. You know, you tell someone a story about your product and about your service, they buy it, and they buy an experience of that story, and that's what it is. It's strange, and that's, you know, it's a bit of a weird kind of esoteric, nuanced look at advertising and capitalism and consumerism. But I find this all really fascinating and interesting, and yeah, I'll kind of probably make more videos with this one kind of thing, actually, topic, because I've really enjoyed making this one. So thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon.